So it's Winching Wednesday here on the channel, and what I'm going to be doing is putting this X-Bull winch to the test. It is a budget winch. It's only about $360. It's a 13,000 pound winch, and it has a 1-year warranty on it, unlike the other winches that are out there that have either limited lifetime or lifetime warranty. But for the money, I wanted to put this to the test. So once a week, I'm going to put it in different scenarios and situations and test the winch. So starting out, it's going to be a very simple and basic test. My vehicle is at probably about a 20-degree angle right now, downslope, and we're going to be winching to a tree over here, not very far. Just the first test is going to be simple and easy, just to make sure that there's not any complications. It'll be the first time I've actually used the winch under load. And then once we do that, we'll go ahead and properly spool out the winch all the way, put it back on load and spool it in properly so that it's ready for our next test, or if we ever have to use it. So as these tests go on, we will get increasingly more difficult with more angles, and I'll start see if I can get my vehicle stuck into some mud and some other locations, and really put this winch to the test to see, are you really getting a decent product for $360? X-Bull is a Australian-based company that has recently come to the United States market. They are made, I believe, in China. They don't actually specify where they're made, and there's no whole information on that, but I do believe that they're made in China, probably in the same factory that a lot of these other Chinese winches are made. For example, the Smittybilts are Chinese made, but they do have a warranty, limited lifetime warranty on certain mechanical parts. So I do have the worn accessory kit that I got, and I would be honest with you, I would really recommend piecing together a kit. What you get for the money is not exactly what I consider the best quality. The bag is cheaply made. The gloves are decent, but they're like a very large size. They're made for a very large hand, and so they can put just one size kind of fits all type of glove in there. The shackles, they're decent quality, nothing special. And again, the ropes feel not the best quality. They'll definitely do, and they'll definitely work. But it's just the tree savers are just not. There's other brands out there, Bubba Rope and some other companies that make tree savers and stuff that are a little bit better quality. And so what you get for the worn name is not what I was expecting. It does come with a snatch block. It comes with a tree saver, an extender, 2 D-ring shackles, and a set of gloves and your bag. It does not come, oddly enough, with a winch blanket. You think that they would come with a winch blanket. It comes with a whole bunch of set of instructions for each one of these and tells you how to use them. If you don't know how to use a winch properly, I would recommend Warren and some other companies have instructional videos on YouTube that you can check out. We're just going to be using the tree saver to the winch. And one of the things a lot of people do is they put one of these D-rings on a tree saver, but you shouldn't do that. You should go around the tree and then hook this directly to the point on your winch. You should not. If you don't have to use any other mechanical components or metal components or any other components that could cause a weak area or somewhere that it would break, then do not. Use the minimal amount of components that you need when you're winching, and make sure that you're doing it safe and you know what you're doing. We're going to pay the winch out here, and we're going to hook it up to a large poplar tree, a tulip poplar tree, and we're going to be winching it up for the first time. So I'm just disengaging it, pulling it out a little bit here. And it does appear that this did come pre-spooled, pre-tensioned, but I don't know that for sure. That's why after this test, I will be putting the pre-tension on it up until about the last 20 feet or so. All right, so we're here at this large tulip poplar. And we're just going to put our tree saver around the tree. And you want to try to get as low as you can on the tree, while also maintaining your winch line above the ground about a foot at least. You do not want your winch to be touching the ground, or your winch line to be touching the ground. And so all we're going to do is we're just going to run the hook here. We're not using a D-ring. We're going to run it through both of the points here on the rope. And that is the best way to make connection. So we're hooked up. We're going to go back, put tension on it, and do our first pull with the X-Bull 13,000 pound winch. So I've engaged the winch, and this does have a wireless remote or a wired remote, but I'm using the wireless remote, and I'm just going to pull tension in. Alright, so I've got tension on it. Now I'm going to get back in the vehicle, and I'm going to take off the parking brake, put it in neutral, and I'm going to start winching in. Now I am at about 9,000 pounds on the weight of my vehicle, and it's slowly taking it in. Nice thing about having these remote control winches is you can just hop in the truck real quick. It comes with 2 remotes, so you can hand it to a buddy so you can operate it or they can operate it. Now again, I'm loaded at about 9,000 pounds, and I was at about a 20-degree angle, maybe more, probably about a 30-degree angle. It's hard to tell the angle on the camera, but it was a pretty steep angle, so initially pulling it was doing some work. But it's pulling along just fine here. And I'm at idle, but I could high idle. And we're going along just fine. Oh, something just... I think it was just my, oh, I see. I think the rope was readjusting. Put my parking brake on. Get out here and take a look. We are still under tension. And everything looks fine. I think what had happened is because I have went from a lower angle up to a higher angle, the tree saver just basically adjusted. That's what that was. All right, now all I've done is simply adjust the angle of the camera for you, and we're going to continue to go in. There's some type of bumping here, but I don't know if it's the winch. It's not slipping, but it's, I don't know what it is. I think maybe that it's getting a little slack on it when it's pulling it. All right, so it is pulling off just a little bit of the rope. The rope is wet, so I do need to pull it out and probably let it dry. So it pulled off a little bit of the rope, but we'll look closer. Let me finish pulling in this last little bit here, and then we'll pull tension off and take a look at it. And that'll be good right there. We're going to head and put it in park with our parking brake on. We'll let some out. All right, so looking at the winch here, it is all spooled up on the right side here, or the left side as you're looking at the vehicle, the right or driver or passenger side if you're sitting in the vehicle. And that's obviously because my winch point was a little to the right of where the vehicle was at. The motor is warm, but it's not hot by any means. And there was a little bit of rope that I just showed you earlier that had come off on the fairlead here. There's no jagged edges. It's just some residue rope. The rope is wet. It has been raining and snowing the last few days here, off and on. Really light snow, nothing heavy. So I don't see anything, it performed just well, or just fine. So looking at the hook point here, the rope looks just fine. I don't see any damage, and everything else looks to be uninjured in any way, unscathed. So I would say that the first test of the X-Bull 13,000 pound winch is a success. Again, this is a very simple test. Didn't put a whole lot of strain on it. It did put a little bit of strain initially because, again, I was at about a 30-degree downslope. In pulling 9,000 pounds at a 30-degree downslope, then got up on level plane. Really not completely level. I was still always at a little bit of a downslope to how this pull was, but it didn't put a whole lot of strain on it. It did just fine. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for next week's Winch Wednesday, and we'll see if we can't make this thing a success or a failure. Either way.